my most amazing scholars of truth, goodness, and beauty. How are you today? I found an amazing, big, huge book downstairs in my living room. And actually, where I bought this book was at one of those thrift stores where you can look through things that people have owned before and find a really good deal. This book is all about Rembrandt, and it has a bazillion paintings and pictures of his artwork. And it's super heavy and it's amazing, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to show you some of my favorites. I am going to teach you a new word today, and it's such an impressive word. Do you like learning big words? If you are able to use this word correctly, you will impress anybody. This word is pronounced chiaroscuro. Let's try that together. I'll say it and then you say it. Chiaroscuro. Ready? Chiaroscuro. Well, I messed it up. Chiaroscuro. Oh, students, it is a hard one to say. Chiaroscuro. Let me see if Google will say it.
Chiaroscuro.
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 Chiaroscuro. Okay. Do we got it? Do we have it? Do we think we have it? Okay, so now you need to know what it means. Chiaroscuro means the treatment of light and shade in drawing and painting. So it's that idea of an artist using strong contrasts between light and dark to create an effect that is very dramatic. And Rembrandt was a master at chiaroscuro. Wow, let's check out some of the paintings from that big book I just told you about. This is one called Anna Accused by Tobit of Stealing the Kid. All right, so you know that a baby goat is called a kid, right? So that's what that is there. And then you'll notice in this picture, there's a little dog down here. Don't miss that. And then what I want you to notice also is the idea of tension. That's something that really shows up a lot in early Dutch painting, and especially in Rembrandt's work. That idea of a dramatic moment, frozen in time, and captured at just a moment of tension. So you can see that in their facial expressions. Okay, let's check this one out. Another painting involving tension, a dramatic moment. This is a biblical scene. It's called Christ Driving the Money Changers from the Temple. It's one of the only scenes in the Bible where Jesus gets angry and gets the people who are doing the wrong thing scared. You can see that their faces are full of fear because they have been caught doing something that is not right. And Jesus is driving them out. He's raising his arm. He's saying, "Get out of my house. Take your bad business somewhere else." And it's that moment of tension. Now look again at the light and the shadow, the bright highlights, the dark lowlights. Seeing that this part of the area of the painting is so dark and shadowy, and their faces, there's so much light and brightness. He almost looks like he's covering his eyes because he's afraid to look. All right, check this one out. The Risen Christ at Emmaus. I love that this picture really plays with the light and the dark. There's just one bright spot here, like there might be a candle behind Jesus. Jesus is the figure right here. And there's this little bright spot in the background here where another candle is probably lit. And we can see his face in the light, but everything about Jesus is in the shadow. A very important moment. The risen Christ, meaning that he had been risen from the dead and was showing himself to this person. All right. right, now this one, another one from the Bible, the presentation of Christ in the temple. So you can see here the brightest spot is the baby Jesus. And there's this light just shining, just like bathing over him. And then all of the dark, shadowy areas back here where you can still see detail, but it's in the shadows. It's a very dramatic moment. Okay, there's another one with some light and dark, but I'm going to keep going because I want to get to a couple pictures of his family. This one is a portrait that Rembrandt did of his father. And so you can kind of see how he played with the light and the dark. And what I love about this painting is really like how Rembrandt let his brush strokes really just kind of sit there without blending them as much as he normally did. So I love that you can just kind of see the thick paint there and the brush strokes. And then of course the super bright side here and the very dark shadowy side there. I mean, when you think about the lighting that they had back in the 15 and 1600s, the light was only from candles and from oil lamps and things like that. It was not an electric light. They didn't have a lot of lights. And so the light was more dramatic back then. If you've ever sat in a dark room with a candle or a lamp, it's very dramatic with the light and the shadows. Different than having an overhead light turned on by electricity. All right, this is a fun smile. This is a self-portrait of Rembrandt when he was quite young. So I like to show you that because last week I showed you some other self-portraits. Remember the one where his face was totally in a shadow? Well, this one is very different. His face is lit up. You can really see some of the details of his countenance. And this one right here is Rembrandt's mother. So again, he left a lot of brush strokes just without blending them. It even looks like in this part with this necklace or this golden thing here that he used some scratching methods to kind of put some detail in there, which I thought was interesting. And of course, the light and the dark again, the super dark cloak over her head is contrasting with the very bright light on the left side of her face. All right, that is what I wanted to show you from my book today. There are some, oh, that's another self-portrait. So that's Rembrandt as he got a little bit older. You can tell he's a little older there. Oh, another self-portrait. Oh, he's got a fancy hat. That's pretty stylish. How would you like to have to wear a collar like that? Oh, kind of glad that's not in our Parnassus dress code. Looks a little uncomfortable, but fancy. All right, that's where I'm going to stop today. I'm going to tell you more about Rembrandt next week, so I hope you are still loving his paintings. We'll focus on the light and the dark and that lovely big word. How do you say it again? Chiaroscuro.
Chiaroscuro.
There we go.